Good morning.
Hi there.
We are in Madrid, Spain. We just had some breakfast at, what was the restaurant name?
Cafe Murillo.
It was probably the most touristy spot that we've been to, as reflected from the prices, but solid food.
Yeah, if you do come here, it's located right between the Botanical Gardens and the Prado Museum. So it's right behind it, and there's quite a number of little spots right down this block.
We had a lot of food, so we need to walk some of it off. And today we're going to be visiting the park.
Yes, the Botanical Garden. Yep, definitely one of my favorites here.
All right, let's get to it.
Those are empty.
Those birds were green. Pass back there and night then.
Yeah.
Feeling the energy.
One thing I'm noticing about Madrid, there is no shortage of parks and gardens. The culture is very outdoorsy. Go outside, walk, move, enjoy what's already here, maybe manicured and taken care of, but here.
Really interesting structures. Looks like there's some sort of special theme going on right now. There it is. Plenitude, feeling the energy. Welcome to the feeling of energy, to feeling the heart of Madrid. Feeling the energy is a trip of immersive experience where you can find out about the multiple production forms and how energy is consumed. Very interesting. Yeah, we'll have to come by at night and see what the difference is with all the lights on.
Yeah.
This is really close to our hotel too. See all the different plants and flowers. There's lots of really fuzzy ones, and then they have decorations in between, and you could tell all the lights. So my theory is they're probably doing these art demonstrations during the winter to still attract people to come to the Botanical Gardens, since the plants are really dying right now. But it's very peaceful in here. I like it because we've seen folks that are walking through to get to their destination, but we're also people just hanging out and having a snack or having conversation.
Yeah, interestingly enough, if you're using Apple Maps or Google Maps, sometimes when you turn on the GPS, it routes you through one of the parks or gardens in this case, which is neat because then you're always walking through, experiencing the nature of the area. So when you're walking, it might be a little bit longer, but don't take the shortcut. Check these places out. All right, so we're here in, what neighborhood is this?
Well, this is the Estrella. I guess that's what you would call it, the Estrella neighborhood, because that's the metro stop here.
Okay, and this area has some history behind it. Do tell.
It does. Funny story, I actually lived here while I was in college. It was my junior year, and this is the exact building where I used to live. And gosh, it's been a really long time since I've been here.
Is it nostalgic?
super nostalgic, even just driving up. So another thing, when I was here, there was no such thing as Uber, so I used to ride the metro a lot, and that's how I'd get around and go to school. So I always knew I wanted to study abroad. It was something that I had been raised with, the idea of studying abroad. So when I got to college, I wanted to make sure that I was coordinating my major to be able to make this happen. So I was actually majoring in international business, and I planned ahead so I could take all of my major courses ahead of time, so that way by the time I came here, really I just had 3 electives to take care of and focus on what I really wanted to do, which was travel most of Europe. So that's what I did. It's so funny to be standing here. So if we look this way to our right, that's how I used to come up. So the metro station is over to the left from that light. And there were a few of us from Stetson that lived here. The lady that I used to live with was the sweetest thing. Her name was Esther, and she actually housed 3 students at the same time. So it was myself, a student from St. Louis University, and actually there was another exchange student also working through the St. Louis University program, but he was from Iceland. So it was the 3 of us plus her. She had this cute little dog. And you guys, my bedroom was like the maid's little bedroom. It was behind the kitchen. It was hysterical. It was very, very tiny. And I enjoyed so much being here. It was 6 months that I got to spend here. And it was the second semester of that particular junior year. So after I was done, I went back home and I finished my last year at Stetson living on campus. So luckily it was the same price as if you were living on campus. And of course you had to figure out your expenses. So one of the things that I used to actually do in this building to get more money so I could travel more is I used to offer my services as an English tutor. And I had a couple of clients, and I would just have conversations with them so they could practice their English, and I would get paid, and that's what I would use to travel a lot. So, honey, what do you guys think?
When you weren't busy hitting the books, studying hard, what were you doing in this area?
So we didn't spend much time in this area, but there were 3 students from my group, and none of us knew each other when we first got here, so we all just became instant friends just because of the circumstances. So there was 2 of the gals. One lived in my building, the other one lived like around the corner. We used to all get together and we would go clubbing. So we were actually staying by one of the clubs that we used to frequent quite often, Capital. Or we'd plan trips to travel. So my classes were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, very strategic. And I would start traveling either Wednesday night on, or I would get up early on Thursday and start traveling. So yeah, did lots of moving around. But most of the time we spent in city center. So, the ride out here, it would take me a good like 20 minutes by metro from city center to get out this way. Very residential, tons of buildings around here. And that's what we used to do, hang out.
Good deal. So would you recommend an international study abroad program?
Absolutely. If you have the opportunity to travel abroad for any amount, whether it's a semester, over the summer, I would definitely encourage it. And for those of you that have kids, encourage your kids to do that as well. The benefits of living in a country away from your family when you're still pretty young, and some have been able to do it during high school, but being able to do it during college, what an experience. To live independently, and I was lucky, I know the language, but to also be immersed in a different culture, it's invaluable. It's what really sparked or solidified my interest in traveling the world. And that's why I am where I am today. So it's definitely something I don't regret and I would do over and over again.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that personal story and sharing it with everyone out there watching. Good stuff.
It is. It's chilly today.
It is.
What's up with that?
But with that little interview of your co-host, that's gonna be our episode this week. So stay tuned. Next week we are going to another part of Spain. We're gonna hop on the train and
Oh, I wonder if it's going to be a different kind of train, like a different...
it should. It's going to be regional. So stay tuned and we'll see you next week.
Bye.